Hello, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. I'll be showing you bare minimum tips on how to get better at Lucio and just how to play Lucio in general to make the most out of him. So the first tip is that you'll see people as playing Lucio, they'll be shooting wall riding like this, and they'll have their back towards the wall. And if you try this, you probably won't be able to do it. And there's actually a setting you have to turn on for Lucio. And so you go into the options and you go down here, you'll click Lucio, you'll scroll down here, and it'll be right here. Right here. Allow backwards wall ride, and you just turn that on, and you'll be able to do it. Just like me here. So if I jump on this wall, I'll be able to shoot, while being on the wall and look the other direction. So just from my back, I can jump on and off with my back. So it allows me to stay centered with my enemy and shoot them. Another tip with Lucio, you want to get comfortable wall riding. Like, get really good. Maybe go practice on some maps so you can get really good at it. If you watch really good Lucios, they can be really fast and effective, like this, how I'm doing it right there, how fast that little segment was. It's not nearly as fast as what some people can do, but with time and time, it'll get better. As long as you practice, or you just play a bunch of games and you always get the opportunity to wall ride, and you just keep trying it. If you're uncomfortable with it, just keep going with it, and you'll get insanely better at it. And with wall rides, on some maps you could do tricks, like we can bot people off the map, because Lucio is one of the fastest characters in Overwatch, so he has the ability to cross the map in mere seconds to bot people off the map at certain points that the enemy would be at before they have a clash between you and your team. And it's very unexpected. In high reloads, it's not. It's probably be more expected, but for the most part, it's unexpected. If you're having trouble with Lucio's aim, just realize, he has 4 bullets and they are projectiles. So if you see the pattern, that's the way they go and they shoot when you shoot across. You can see this pattern. So when someone's moving, you're gonna have to try to predict where they're going and like kind of line up your shot. And with more experience of shooting and trying to hit people, you will get better at this. But practice it maybe before a game and as like a warm-up before you even start, because if you just go into a game and you start trying to shoot people, you might be a little rough at it, and then you'll probably warm up later in the game than already being warmed up in the training phase. Now, another tip is that shooting and aiming, once you get that pretty much down and you can shoot people from on the ground, you're going to want to be able to be comfortable with wall running and shooting people at the same time. Now, at first, you're not going to be able to get your shots off like very frequently, but with practice and time, you can get this down, pretty much down, where you're just like a big frog jumping around, and then they can't do anything because you're shooting them, but they can't see you. And it's hard for them to track you if you're on the walls, jumping up and down, and you have all this speed. So with Lucio is that teaming, like when you're with your team, if you're playing aggressive, you're going to have to recoup with your team, because you're going to have to be able to heal your team up or boost them to the objective. So don't stay too far from your team, because if you're too far from your team, then you can't do anything. There's not much you can do, because everybody on their team is getting healed and such. Unless you have someone who is an outlier and they're away from their team, it is definitely possible to kill them as Lucio. And that's when a good aggressive Lucio comes in handy. But for the most part, you're going to want to stay with your team and have heals on them. And at the right moment, you see an outlier, go up and go and just go for them. If you have an opportunity to go and kill someone, go take it, even if you're missing shots and you're being all shit. It's better to do that and have the experience of, oh, I'm shit and I'm aiming like doo-doo, and fully concentrate on trying to kill them. And you might die and get pissed off, but I mean, that's how you learn, by going through that and just training through it. And yeah, so just stick with your team, and if you see an outlier, go ahead and go for them. Until you build more confidence up with Lucio, I wouldn't recommend being super aggressive with him. Like, don't be going behind the team and like trying to like 1v1 their diva or some shit, or trying to 1v1 their fucking McCree, because you're just gonna get stunned and like bitch slapped by their McCree. So until you know how to bait, his flash and stuff, or if you already can do that, go for it. But for the most part, until you build up the basics of Lucio, don't really try to go aggressive. But if you're comfortable, go ahead and go for it. But just realize that your team will be probably bitching at you the whole time. Like, bro, where's my heals and shit? So just be wary of that. Another tip of Lucio is that you want to be strafing when you're shooting. Now, at first, this could be kind of annoying or kind of unnatural, but it can get you a lot better because the way Lucio moves. So I know you can't see it now, but I'll probably put up an image or I'll put up a little 3D view of Lucio when he moves side to side. He moves drastically when he moves side to side, specifically his legs. Like, he moves a lot when he goes side to side, so it makes Lucio harder to hit. If you're moving side to side and sometimes jumping or jumping constantly, it could be a lot harder to hit him if you're not near a wall, because you want to be on the wall most of the time that you can while shooting enemies. And if you can't be near a wall and you're in the middle, you're going to want to jump and strafe as much as you can to get and dodge every bullet. And even if you have to, go ahead and crouch if you have to, like, just miss some bullets or like miss a fucking fire strike or something. It's fine to go ahead and do that. Just stay out of their way. And I tend to find, like, so if I'm running away and I'm like getting low on HP, and don't be swapping to your heal, because only in some circumstances it's good, like if you're going around a corner, because you have time where people aren't shooting you. If you have your speed boost on just active, you'll be able to get in fast enough and get around that corner, because having your heal on, you're just gonna get shot at and die. Like, the heals aren't enough even for yourself for you to run away if it's just you against like 3 or 2 more and you can't handle them. It's hard. If they're on you, you might as well just speed boost, because it's going to be harder for them to hit you. And if they're not hitting you, you can go ahead and get out of there and get around a corner real quick, switch to heal when you're around a corner, and then as well as while you're running, and get prepared to fight back with your team. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you know his basic abilities. That's why I just previously covered that last step about his shift and switching between. But I'm going to give an example on his Q and some tips on that. His Q, I'm sure you probably know, but you probably want to use it during like any major ult that someone uses as a counter ult. So like D.Va or like Reinhardt if you're not hit by it, or like Zarya. Those are all really good to go against. And you'll find out more of what else you can use to go against, but holding on to it isn't really good if you're just not using it, because it's kind of just no point. If you're just not going to use it, if you use it just for yourself, it's not really good in my opinion. But it is good to do either as a push move. So if you want your team to push, if someone else ults, go ahead and you can use your Q. Or if you just want your team to go in and they're not going in, just Q and then push up, and they most times out of 10 they will push up. And then again, his Q can be used as just a defense. So if your team's low, just go ahead and use it, so you can wait for your other teams. Like, say your tanks aren't there yet, you pop the Q, or one tank's there, you're waiting for the other tank, you pop the Q, your tank gets there, and everybody's still on full HP. Everybody's not dying, and the other team's dead because they don't have a counter ult. By no means I am a Lucio pro. I'm not some super pro mega esports god or nothing, but I'm trying to get better at Lucio, and those are my bare minimum tips that have helped me personally get better at Lucio, and I hope they help you. And thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If I forgot anything for bare minimum tips, let me know. Yeah, let me know if they helped you. See you in the next video. Peace out.